Tonight, the expanding scandal of a Florida police department and the Ku Klux Klan. 2 Fruitland Park officers have been ousted after allegations they secretly belonged to the KKK. Both men have denied it. But now, a state report implicates a third person from that office, a former secretary who was married to one of those officers. And her explanation for why she was in the Klan requires some suspension of disbelief.
This newly released FDLE report shows the Ku Klux Klan had a deeper hook in the Fruitland Park Police Department than first thought. FDLE said former Fruitland Park Police Secretary Ann Honeywell was also a member of the Klan since 2008, the same year her ex-husband, recently outed KKK member George Honeywell, joined the force. He was fired last week. Ann claimed the couple was working undercover when they joined the Klan, but admitted she had no paperwork to back that up. The report also states former Deputy Chief David Borst had ties to the Klan going back years when he was a sergeant.
So this couple joined the KKK as part of a secret mission assigned by the former police chief that nobody else knew about? Really? 5 years ago, this same police department was rocked by these photos showing a different officer, a man named James Elkins, dressed in Klan robes. And now the question is, who are the other men in these photos? Should we expect more revelations about this police department and the KKK? My next guest may have some answers. David Gleddy spent 4 years infiltrating white supremacist groups for the FBI. He wrote a book called Undercover Nazi about how he proved valuable intelligence about these groups while working from the inside. And from those years undercover, he says he met some of the key players in this scandal. David, thanks for being here.
Oh, thank you so much for the opportunity, Reverend Al.
Let's start with former Deputy Chief David Borst. Where did you meet him?
I met him along with James Elkins back in 2004, 5, 6, and early 2007 at different Klan rallies and militia rallies. You know, they're involved with the militia also. And this was in LJ, Georgia, Conyers, Georgia, Lawrence, South Carolina, Spring Hill, Florida, around in the Tampa area, Polk County, Lakeland. You know, it's very prevalent, more than you would imagine.
They were at these meetings while they were active officers in Fruitland.
Absolutely. Now, I knew James Elkins was an officer because he let everyone know. I did not know Mr. Borst was. He always introduced himself as David, as James Elkins' friend, always there with Pamela Elkins, James' wife, the one that ultimately ratted them out. But myself and my undercover partner, Joe, got this investigation started back in 2004 and 5. And as you can see, it has continued for so long. And you can believe other officers are going to be implicated. And that story that they were telling us how they worked undercover, come on. Something smells fishy up there in Norway.
I'm going to get back to the fishy in Norway part. But James Elkin, the officer who was outed as a Klan member 5 years ago, was he a prominent presence in the white supremacist groups in this area?
Oh, absolutely. In the Central Florida area over there in Hillsborough County and Polk County and those areas. And like I said, it was with the Klan, it was with the militia, and also, you know, he was prevalent with the skinheads and the Nazi movement. So he was associating with them all, trying to bring more people in. He wanted to form his own group there, up there in his area of Fruitland Park, Florida.
Now, in that state law enforcement report, the former police secretary described her KKK initiation ceremony and stated she and George, along with two other recruits, were summoned to Elkins' house and escorted to a room. A pillowcase was placed over their heads. They were led into a living room and told to kneel after a reading. Their pillowcases were removed from their heads, and the ceremony was complete. I mean, does that sound familiar to you?
Oh, absolutely. Yes, it does. You know, I've seen all kinds of different initiations. That one's kind of sounds a little out there, but it does go down like that. And if you're in that deep, you're in. you're in.
Now, a local reporter interviewed a man who was arrested by one of those officers with the alleged KKK ties. Watch this.
This man doesn't want you to know his name or see his face, but he is very clear about what he wants to happen after the man who arrested him earlier this month was accused of being a member of the Ku Klux Klan. His arrest report, written by George Honeywell and approved by David Borst, shows Honeywell took extreme measures to stop him as he pulled him over for driving 37 miles an hour in a 25-mile-an-hour zone.
He jumped in the middle of my car as I was going, and then I almost pulled his gun and said, like, oh, I could have shot you if you would have hit me with your car.
That man claims the officer talked about shooting him. I mean, how dangerous is it to have people with these alleged views patrolling our streets?
First off, I have to say that, as of course, not all officers are involved in this. It's a small percentage. But I've seen the ugly head of the beast. I've been with these officers. I've been with them at parties where they draw their service revolvers and fire shots at cats. I've seen, and stray dogs, I've seen how crazy they act. I've seen their alter ego, so to say. And since they're in a public trust job position and a position of authority, it's a very dangerous mix, very dangerous. And it needs to be stopped now. And you can believe there's a major investigation going on throughout the state of Florida because there's more agencies involved, not just Fruitland Park, Florida.
So you feel it'll be more agencies and more officers implicated other than Fruitland, Florida?
Oh, absolutely. Take a look at Lakeland, Florida. Take a look at Melbourne, Florida. Take a look at Polk County, Florida. Hillsborough County, Florida. It's very prevalent, all over the state and other states in the union.
Well, we'll be taking a look at all of that. Thank you so much, David Gleddy, for your time tonight.
Thank you very much, Reverend Al.
Coming up, Republicans are hoping Kelly Ayotte can help them with their lousy PR on women's health issues. It's in tonight's Gotcha. And new 911 tapes from an LA freeway in the moments before the police beating was caught on tape. The Justice Files are ahead.